be good, Gino.
Just a second. Copy. Thanks. Pull up a chair, buddy.
All right. So, what's this big break on the Kate Carruthers murder?
I've got an answer, my man.
Second bullet theory?
Yes. I know who killed Kate.
You know for sure?
Mm-hmm.
How?
I got an eyewitness.
You'll take me back?
That's right, Nancy. I mean, even though I was lied to, I'm willing to try to forgive you, providing you apologize.
You'll forgive me?
Yeah, sure, I will. Nancy, look, believe me, I know the kind of pressure that your family put on you, and even though you tried to trick me down the aisle,
oh, come on, Dan. You're the one that tried to trick me.
Nancy, that's just not true.
When you thought that I had dropped the lawsuit against Ben, then you were ready to forget the whole ceremony, right?
Nancy, you deceived me. I mean, I was hurt.
Wait a minute. Look, let's just get one thing straight here.
All right, fine. That's why I'm here. Let's...
Okay. What I want to know is one thing. The bottom line. Did you only want to marry me for the money you could get out of me? Well, Dan, tell me that the reason you wanted to marry me went beyond hard, cold cash.
I'm hurt, Nancy. I mean, that you would even think that after all we've been through.
Oh, get off it, Dan. You're not the one hurt here.
Nancy, we have both been hurt by the scheming of your family.
They were only trying to help me. I can see that now. Why can't you just admit that the only thing you ever wanted from me was the money?
Because it's not true, Nancy. Your family, or I should call them your legal enemies. All they were trying to do was ruin our love.
What love?
Oh, Nancy. Now, you can't stand there and tell me that there wasn't a love between us.
Well, at one time, I thought there was.
Well, Nancy, then don't let that love dissolve just because I reacted poorly in a crisis situation.
You call marrying me a crisis situation?
Look, Nancy, there can still be a future between us if you want it.
What I want, Dan, is a straight answer to my question. Would you marry me if it wasn't for the hope of a settlement at the end of this thing? That's the real issue.
Nancy, I've already told you I reacted badly, all right?
The fact is, you ran out the door just as soon as Ben told you that I had dropped the lawsuit. I mean, he even gave you the opportunity to walk in the other room and discuss it with me, but no, you couldn't even come into the kitchen and have the decency to talk
Nancy,
about it with me.
Please. Would you try to look at this from my point of view? I mean, here's the situation. I arrived at Terry's house ready to marry you. And then just as the ceremony was about to begin, Ben and Doug start telling me things that you've dropped the lawsuit and everything. And I mean, what was I supposed to think? I mean, it made me think that you were trying to lure me into marriage by letting me believe that you were coming into this big settlement of money. Now, what was I supposed to think, Nancy?
It's no good. It doesn't work anymore.
What? I I don't understand.
All those smooth words. You know, all those things that you used to say to me. You really knew the right buttons to push with me. I'll give you credit for that.
So what are you saying? Is this where we say goodbye? Is that it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, then, I think it's time that you and I settled our accounts, Nancy.
What do you mean?
I mean the money you owe me. I'm talking about the hospital bill, the doctor's fees, the fee for this place, and my legal fees, Nancy. Now tell me, just how do you intend to pay for all that?
Hey. Now, this is a surprise. What are you doing here?
Thank you.
Sure. What'd you do, sneak away from Lester Lewis?
Apparently, my colleague's sophomore son has forgotten we're having a little celebration for Ben and Lori
Oh,
today.
yeah, that's right.
Hey.
Hey, are you positive that Nancy dropped that lawsuit?
I'm as positive as anybody can be.
Well, I hope so. For Ben's sake. I hope it's over.
It is. Now maybe things can get back to normal for him.
Sometimes that can be pretty hard.
What do you mean?
Well, it's tough to turn the clock back. You just can't recapture the past.
Why do I get the feeling you're thinking more about yourself than Ben?
Because I am. I'm also thinking of Courtney.
Should have figured. How are things going between you two?
Well, I went over to see Charles Carpenter the other day. Well, to see if
And?
Courtney was there, really. And he said she went back to Lake Forest because her mother had been recommitted to some sanitarium or something.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Not more sorry than me. He said because of that, Courtney will probably go back to her old boyfriend.
Wait a minute, I don't see that connection. Why would she do that?
Well, because Von Sumner's family is very wealthy. And since Courtney's mom's going to need some expensive care, it's going to take big bucks.
But what about the Carpenter wealth?
Apparently, Preston Carpenter, which is her father, is having some financial problems or something.
Well, what about Charles Carpenter?
Come on, you gotta ask.
Yeah, but would Courtney really commit herself to a man for those reasons?
If it meant her mother's health, yeah. You know, for the first time in my life, I feel poor.
Well, you're not.
Yeah. Compared to Vaughn, there is no comparison.
Obviously, Courtney sees something in you she doesn't see in him.
If her mother needs that expensive care, Mom, I don't have a chance.
Peter, you can't be sure of that.
I think I love her. Now, I know what you're gonna say, but it's very different now. I've changed over the last few months. I've grown, but I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should take a risk. Is it worth it, you know?
What do you mean?
Should I tell her how I feel? Should I take that chance? You know what I'm talking about? It's like, have you ever been in love and just kept it all inside?
An eyewitness? Who?
Claudia Schmidt.
Oh, no, Gene, that space kid, she's your eyewitness? You got me down here for this?
Now, wait just a second here now, but you haven't heard what I've uncovered yet.
Oh, you still think somebody else fired the shot to kill Kate Carruthers?
Well, it has to be. I mean, it all makes sense. Stacy's fingerprints, all 10 of them were found on the panic bar, right? Now, if she dropped the gun out in the parking lot like they say, then why weren't her fingerprints on the gun out there as well? And then there's Mrs. Schmidt. She heard a second shot.
All right. Okay, I'm aware of all this. She also takes advice from Snow White and has tea with Mary Poppins.
Okay, all right. Look, John, so she's a little eccentric.
A little?
Oh, Sergeant Brubaker, good to see you again.
Same here, McGovern.
I trust you're discussing your story on the Mayor's Crime Commission report?
Yeah, I am.
Well, how's it going?
Well, going really well. Really well.
Have you talked to Lockwood yet?
The day after tomorrow. That's when I'm going to see him, Walter.
See if you can push it up to tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Sergeant, nice to see you again.
Why is it I get the feeling that your boss doesn't know what you're working on?
Because I haven't even started on that crime commissioner report. Right now, Kate Carruthers' murder is more important.
All right. What did you get on Claudia Schmidt?
All right. She said that she heard two people arguing in Amber's apartment, and she remembered a man and a woman is what she heard. But she remembered the man said something like, "Booze his selection."
All right, I already know that. That's a waste of time.
No. That's what I thought too. But listen at this. What if he didn't say booze his selection, but rather lose the election?
Lose the election?
Yeah.
You might have something there.
I know. Now, that isn't all. But Mrs. Schmidt also said that after the second shot, she saw a man leave Amber's apartment.
Oh, yeah. Who was it this time? The Pied Piper?
Knave of Hearts.
How could I forget?
Wait a minute. Look, I know that you think this is all a big joke. I mean, a ranting old woman and everything.
Loony old woman.
Yeah, but John, listen, this is what I'm trying to say. I was talking to Carla today, and we were going over some of the clues, and she reminded me of a nursery rhyme, and it goes this way. The Knave of Hearts stole the tarts to eat them for himself. John, the Knave of Hearts was a fat man.
Sebastian Knight?
That's exactly what I was thinking. And I was going over Carruthers' articles here to see if I could find a picture of Sebastian Knight just before you came.
Did you get one?
No, I don't have one. I'm sure that there's one around here someplace. But I was wondering, could you meet me over at Mrs. Smith's place later on to see if she can make a positive ID of Sebastian?
Sebastian Knight, the Knave of Hearts. Who would have thought?
So you with me on this or what?
You bet.
Hey, good.
Well, come on, Nancy, tell me. Just how are you going to pay your bills, huh? Come on. You've had your fun playing the broken-hearted victim. And now it's time to pay up.
I will.
Oh, yeah, how?
I don't know. I'll find out somehow.
I'll tell you what you can expect, Nancy. A lifetime of debt. You really are stupid. I mean, you could have been set financially for life and had a real man to love you to boot. But no, you threw it all away, didn't you? Did your relatives tell you what you can look forward to?
What?
The loneliness, Nancy. I mean, let's face it, you don't have any friends.
I have Terry. I have Ione, Lori.
They're not really your friends. Come on. They look at you as some kind of charity case. And the Knights, Nancy, they will get especially lonely. I mean, there's not going to be anybody there to comfort you and caress you and love you, huh? I mean, who would want an aging and scarred nobody like you?
You can't scare me, Dan. I used to fall for it, but I'm not falling in that trap anymore.
It's no trap, Nancy. This is the truth. I don't care what Ben Martin and Terry Davidson have told you. They don't care about you, not the way I did.
Dan, I'm not going to change my mind on the lawsuit.
Yeah, well, then you better get hold of a whole lot of money in a big hurry, Nancy, because I am going to take you right to court. But that's just the beginning of your troubles. I mean, how are you going to find work with the kind of background you have, not to mention your physical appearance? And what kind of man will you attract, huh, Nancy? Let's face it, baby, you are bankrupt, financially and physically.
I don't have to listen to this.
That's right, you don't. So just pack your bags and get out of here.
I'm not going anywhere until I'm good and ready.
Let me just leave you with one thought, Nancy. Something that you're going to think about for the rest of your life. Would I have been as angry and as passionate as I've been if I didn't really love you? Huh?
You were only interested in my money.
No. But you'll never really be sure, will you? And you'll wonder about that. You think about it.
Everybody. It's 4 o'clock and we're fresh out of patients.
Oh, all that'll change pretty soon.
Are you so sure, Ione?
I certainly am. What with Dave being cleared of the murder charge and you free of that malpractice suit? There'll be more patients in here we can handle in no time. Mark my words.
Dr. Martin, this is where you're supposed to say how you can't wait for this place to get jam-packed with all sorts of abrasions and fractures and infections. And
Oh, okay.
something tells me the good doctor here doesn't believe that's going to happen.
No, it's not that.
Then what?
Well, I have to admit, I don't know what I'm going to do about the clinic.
Oh, now, I don't like the sound of that.
Oh, no, I mean, the clinic will stay here, and Dave will be back to work full-time in the next few days. I'm just not sure how much time I'll be spending here.
Is that any way for a winner to talk? After what you've been through with Nancy Lawson, you've got to stick around and enjoy your victory. Speaking of victory, there's a real loser.
Oh, Lucy.
Well, he is.
I want to talk to you, Martin.
Came to apologize, did you?
I don't think there's anything left to say.
Yeah, well, I do. And if it's an audience you want, then that's okay by me.
Excuse us, Ben. We'll be right back.
So why are you here?
I just left Nancy, and she is destroyed by what you did to her.
By what you did to her?
No, what I did was love her.
Oh, come on. Come on, are you here to make me believe that you actually cared about Nancy? Don't even bother. Hey, the game is over and you lost, buddy.
And you don't even care about the cost, do you?
Cost? The cost. Uh-huh. That's what really bothers you, isn't it? The fact that you lost all that money. Nancy doesn't matter at all. You've lost the game and you just can't accept it, so you're here hoping that the game will continue, but it cannot.
Have you seen Nancy? Have you seen the torment she's going through? I mean, does that even matter to you?
A lot more than it matters to you. Now, Nancy's hurting right now, but she'll get over it.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I am. In time, she's going to realize that she did the right thing.
I think you're forgetting something here, Doctor. Nancy is in a very disturbed emotional state right now. Now, how can you forget what happened the last time she was in that kind of pain?
I don't think it's good to suppress any feelings you have, Peter. I don't think it's healthy.
What do I do then?
Well, first of all, you gotta look into your heart and be honest with what you're feeling.
Well, I've done that.
Are your feelings for Courtney really that serious?
I love her.
Okay, then you've got to figure out what you want from the relationship.
It's not like I'm gonna elope or anything now. Don't worry.
No, I wasn't thinking that.
Okay. But you think I should tell her what I feel?
Well, I don't know if you should do that now, but I'll tell you what you shouldn't do.
What?
Keep your feelings bottled up inside.
I don't know, Mom. It's so risky. See, even if she wants me, she might not have me. And then if I tell her I love her, then it's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
right?
no, I know what you're saying. But you see, taking risks is a part of loving. You know, even though we want to protect ourselves, you've got to be vulnerable in order to love.
What if I just date around, you know, and get into my schoolwork, my job, and I can work Courtney right out of my system?
Is that what you really want? No. Because you see, in a way, you're taking just as much of a risk by going to Courtney and telling her flat out how you feel.
Then I'm right back where I started.
Now, wait. Look. You don't have to make a decision right now, okay? Just keep one thing in mind, though. Real love is a gift from God. And it's not a gift that we should give back to Him unfulfilled or unexplored. While Courtney may not give you the opportunity to explore or fulfill that love, just remember, you shouldn't ever let those feelings go without being said.
Yeah.
What are you saying, that Nancy's close to suicide again?
Well, now, just what do you think?
I think it's a cheap shot to try and get what you want. Listen, why don't you just leave? Get out of here.
All right, what about my money, then? All that money Nancy owes me. For the hospital bills, the doctor bills, my legal fees. Now, listen, I intend to collect every cent.
Well, I'd think twice about that before you take any kind of legal action, because the Bar Association would be very, very interested in hearing how you handled Nancy's
Look,
case.
don't threaten me, Martin. Don't think I'm just going to sit by and do nothing about getting my money. Are you forgetting the role that your good buddy Doug Hughes played in all this, huh? I mean, not only did he agree to throw your case, but several years ago, he received his law degree with the benefit of a thesis that he didn't write.
You really are slime.
Look, you can call me anything you like, Martin. But if you turn me in, I'm going to point the finger right at Doug Hughes. If I go down, he's going right down with me.
Listen, you better get out of here right now while you're still in one piece.
Ooh. First name calling and now threats, huh? You know something? You and I aren't really that different after all, are we, Doctor?
I wanted to plaster the wall with that guy.
I think you should have.
Oh, Lucille.
Well, you heard what he said. We couldn't help overhearing.
Things don't look too good for Nancy, do they?
I don't know. You see, I thought this whole matter was over when Dan Myers ran out on the wedding, but now I don't.
You mean you think he'll still try to collect all that money from Nancy?
Knowing Dan Myers, my guess is that he will. A lot's going to depend on Doug Hughes.
What'll he do?
That's a good question. I need to get in touch with him and let him know the latest.
Well, what about Nancy?
Oh, what about Nancy?
Well, she's going to need a place to live, you know.
Yeah, I guess she will.
Oh, Ione, you wouldn't. I mean, you really would.
I really would. Nancy needs plenty of tender love and care right now, and I intend to see that she gets that.
Well, Ione, you better save some of that TLC for Doug, because he may need it as much as Nancy does.
The first shot awakened me. Of course, I didn't know it was a shot at the time. But, I went back to sleep, and I was awakened by the sound of the argument. That's it. And I was afraid. But I went to the door anyway. And I opened it just a little crack. And I saw this man come out of Amber Phillips' apartment. And you can put that in your record, whether you believe it or not, Sergeant Bluebaker.